guys, we're getting some comments from the ECB right now as to ECB meeting minutes. Medium term must not be equated with staff forecast horizon, must counter perception, monetary policy cannot boost inflation. Must counter perception that monetary policy cannot boost inflation. I don't know. They haven't been doing a good job of it, so I don't know how they're gonna counter that perception. Worrisome market-based HICP outlook not up despite oil rise. Some inflation. So they worry that that inflation outlook's not up despite the rise in oil. So I mean, they're talking a lot about inflation, about how the market doesn't believe that inflation is coming, and they're concerned that that the market doesn't believe that ECB monetary policy can do anything about inflation. So in essence, what they're saying is that inflation could creep up on us really quickly without us knowing, or sneak up on us, really. So anyway, just some comments from the ECB meeting minutes, but nothing that's moving the market at the moment. There's not anything out there that's really knocking down the doors. I mean, the euro dollar is still stuck at 112. All right, so let's grab the bias chart really quick, and let's do what we normally do around here and do some analysis, eh? All right, so it's time to get started. Yeah, dollar Canadian new highs. I see it. I'm still in 5/6 of my position right now. I did have an order to take profits at 130.75. The reason why was the 127% extension, but we just kind of blew right past that. I sold some while I was sleeping right here, and we're just continuing higher. All right, let's talk about the euro dollar. So first and foremost, here's the euro. So the euro is at a big fib and also horizontal support, which the 50% retracement is right here. You can see horizontal support, not there. Horizontal support, right? Right there. Okay, you guys see it. It's big level, and we're there. I mean, we're basically there. But frankly, it looks like we're going to break lower, and if we do, 111.25. So if we start getting comfortable below 112, which we're not yet, but if we do, 111.25 would be the next target. So support today comes in at 111.25. Right? That is key support. And I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you this much. If you're long the dollar right now, like let's say you're short the euro, all right, and the euro breaks through 112 following today's data, okay, and by the way, we just reached our target. Remember this, the AB equals CD, all right, we're there. Here, let's remove all this crap. We're there. Is this a good time to be long the euro? I don't think so, but but that's me. All right. To me, it looks like the euro is just going to plow right through here. What is the? I'm going to ask you guys this question, and I want you to think about your answer to me really quick. What was the key component of us reaching this target? What was the key component of that? What was the key component? Anybody? Okay, what was the key clue? Maybe that was the right answer, but the right question I need to ask you. What was the clue to told us that we were going to get down there? You guys recall? Bingo, Nick. Was it Nick? Yeah, bingo, Nick. Super shallow retracement. We couldn't even make a 38% retracement in that move. We couldn't even make a 38% retracement. You guys hear me say this all the time. Shallow retracements lead to strong continuations. Okay? When you have a shallow retracement, this is less than 38%. The likelihood of us making a continuation towards that, you know, towards the and completing an AB equals CD type of move, very realistic. Okay, we're done. We've done it. The question is, can we go further? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I would not stand in front of the euro right now, trying to get long. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right. Um, Again, 111 and a quarter. Okay, that does seem doable, but we do have a lot of support down here. So don't. I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that we have completed our pattern here. Okay, which should provide some support, but I'm also not ignorant enough to know. Ignorant is not the word I should be using. I'm not ignoring the fact that the dollar is extremely strong right now either. Okay, what I'd like to see at this point, naive. Thank you, Joe. That's the word. See, so you guys can't see. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here. Okay, what I'd rather see, is I'd rather see a move up today, so we can short at 112.50 for another move lower. That's what I'd like to see. All right. So 112.55. Let's hope. Okay. Well, let's hope. Let's hope we can get there. It is bearish. Okay. At this point. The cable. Now this cable, whoa, man, what a freaking move, huh? What a move in the pound. I lost money in the pound yesterday. I made money in pretty much everything else, and I lost 40 pips in the cable, shorting it yesterday. After the FOMC meeting minutes, I got out like down here. Like probably right here. I was short at 145.44 or 145.40 average, something like that, and I lost like 40 pips. So I was trying to short as we hit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. I'm trying to think back to what I did yesterday. We spiked up this 127% extension, 50% retracement. I started shorting, you know, ahead of this, thinking, okay, it might be a false breakout. So my cost average was here. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I'll have to redraw that again. We spike up. I hold all my dollar longs through the FOMC minutes. The dollar, I make really good money in the euro, the Norwegian Krona, the Canadian, obviously, and I took a little bit of a loss in the pound as it came back down. Okay, now the pound surged to new highs. Somebody asked me this morning, hey Blake, what do you think about the pound? I said, well, if you're going to short it, now's the time to do it. The reason why I say that, or I said that, is here, let's get rid of this one real quick. Not that one. Let's remove that. Okay. We hit 161% extension of this last leg lower. You see that? 161% extension. We had a 786 retracement coming up. This support over here, this yellow line, you have to go all the way back to the these highs. Oops, not that. You had to go back all the way over here to these highs from back in February. We're basically there. All right. So there's a lot of confluence up here, and I said, listen, if you're going to short the pound right now, which I didn't, just so you know, I'm not short the cable, but I said, if you're going to short the pound, this is the place to do it. And you know, you want to risk, you know, maybe above this 146.75 level. That's it. Okay. That I feel is going to be really good resistance today. You can see how relative strength is starting to diverge here. You know, where we hit a new high, relative strength did not. Okay. We should have some good resistance at 146.75. I'll tell you, if we get up there today, like if we hit it today, here I'm going to put an asterisk there. If we hit it today, I would consider shorting the cable up there. I would. Like if we do this, let me just draw it out for you. If we do this and we tag it, I might actually short the pound right there. Okay? I might do it. I'm not doing it yet, and I'm not short the cable yet, but let's say the euro bounces to 112.50 and the cable gets up to 146.75. I'd probably be a seller up there. Now, do I think it's risky? Hell yeah, I do. I lost money in the pound twice actually yesterday. I bought the pound dollar and I tried to get, I tried to get long the euro pound like a dummy. I got stopped out of that overnight pretty quickly. It was just a really small position. It was actually the smallest position I could take. I was like, well, you know, the euro pound might bounce. Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work. So I took a little hickey in that one. But the cable, man, this thing's a beast. And I'll tell you, while we're above here, you got to be really careful being on the short side of this bad boy. Okay. So support comes in at 145.50. I'd rather be a seller up here. And if you want to buy the cable, buying it down here makes more sense. All right. So that's 145.50. Okay, let's go over to the Swissy. The Swissy is so strong right now, and I cannot believe I'm not long. Just irritates me. It irritates me. This is the boat that took off that I'm not on, and that it just pisses me off because you guys know. I mean, how long and how much have I talked about? I want to be long the dollar Swiss. Why do you want to be long the dollar Swiss, Blake? Well, I want to be long the dollar Swiss because, you know, the Swiss National Bank has the rates at -3/4 basis points, and the Fed's raising rates. The carry in this, the positive carry in this is just great. Well, great idea, Blake. Well, why aren't you long? I don't know, because I'm a big dummy. Well, you know, that pretty much, you know, defines just my stupidness for not being in this thing right now. So now I have to just try to be smart about it and find a dip to buy it. But the question is, are we going to get a dip? You know, are we going to dip down to here so we can buy it, which would be at 98.40 basically. But I look at this thing and it just looks like it's just going to continue to go. And you know me, I can't in my right mind, I can't just start buying it here. I don't chase things. I don't chase price. Okay. So we're here. We might be going to parity, but there's nothing I can do about it at this stage, other than hope to get it down here, and that's it. I hope. All right. Where's resistance? Well, we're at it right now. We are. But looking at the euro dollar, the euro is about ready to break through 112. This thing still looks like it's going to go higher. And I don't even know where it's going to stop. I don't know. It sucks too. I don't even want to do analysis on this currency pair anymore because I'm so sad. All right. I've got my sad face on. Blake's got a sad face going right now. All right. Where's resistance? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I hate to write it down, but I'm gonna have to write it down at parity. Sorry. I wish I had a better price for you. Parity will be good resistance. It is bullish. All right, let's go to the dollar yen. Now we're talking about something serious here. Here's the dollar yen. So I got asked yesterday when we were here, hey Blake, is the dollar yen a good short here at 109.70 or whatever? Okay. I really thought we were going to the top end of this channel or the 786 retracement, and we came pretty dang close overnight. We got up to 110.40. 110.50 I think is going to be really good resistance. Now, stocks are bouncing off of their lows, and I'm real hesitant about believing that the stock market's going to break down right now. I say that because everybody, when I say everybody, I mean everybody. We've been looking at this chart for the last week and a half here. We have this big head and shoulder pattern, right? But everybody's looking at it. And everybody noted it 2 nights ago. And of course, when I saw a trader doing a webinar about well, I didn't watch the webinar. I just heard about the webinar. I heard this trader is like doing a webinar saying, "Oh man, look at this big, we're going to break down in the S&P." I'm like, "Oh no, we're not. We're going to rip." And literally the next day, we went, or I was like, "Yeah, I think we're in a wedge here." And I know everybody's trying to get really bearish the stock market right now, but I don't know if this is the right time. I mean, I do think that the stock market's going to eventually break lower, but I think it's probably like beginning of next week or so. All right. So with that being said, the dollar yen, we stalled at this 110.40 level, but I still think we can get to 110.50. That's the 786 retracement. That's our roughly drawn channel high, and so I think 110.50 is going to be it. That's going to be key resistance. Now, if we get above there, I wouldn't want to be short any yen pairs. Damn. Okay. All right. 110.50. We are still in a range. We break out of that range if we break out of this thing. Support for today. $109. If we can get to 109, boy, that'd be something, huh? Wishful thinking? I don't know. Let's go over to the Canadian. Just so you all know, I own more than full-size dollar Canadian. It's my only dollar exposure right now. I am pretty long the dollar Canadian. I already took some profits overnight. I am looking to reload. Obviously, on any dip to 130, the question is, are we going to make it all the way down there? The dollar Canadian is breaking higher, and I don't know where the peak is, and I don't know where we're going to stop. But I would say if we get to 131.57, that would be really key for today. 131.55. Okay, I'll just write that. Okay. This is bullish. No. Now, where do we buy it? Where can we get long? It's a good question because I don't know the answer. I think any dip to 130.50, you're going to find buyers. You might find me there too. All right, let's take a look at the Kiwi. Now, I'll tell you what, this Kiwi is damn strong. Kiwi is holding up really, really well. Considering, okay, here's the Kiwi. 67.15 is critical support. If we break through that, we should see some serious downside pressure. Just so you all know, I got stopped out of my Aussie New Zealand last night, and I went back and rebought it. So I own the Aussie New Zealand at 106.82 now. I got stopped out, and I'm like, oh, dude, I forgot I had my stops that close, and I went out and rebought it last night. So I own it. I actually own it a little bit higher than where it is right now. So and just so you all know, the Aussie New Zealand, there's this trend line right here that I was looking at, and I was looking at this yesterday, and then I didn't adjust my stops accordingly, and I had my stops just right below here, and so I got stopped out, and I looked up at my trade station, and I said, oh crap, I got stopped out of it. So I went back and rebought it. You know, I've been reestablishing my exposure here. So anyway, the Kiwi dollar, if the Kiwi dollar breaks 67.15, that is going to be a pretty bearish event, and maybe even maybe we'll have to write it at 67. But let me try something else. Yeah, I'm going to write down 67 cents because that's really the 50% retracement. Okay, we break through that, and the Kiwi is going to get hit pretty hard, I would think. Rallies probably capped right at this blue trend line here. So any move up to 67.75 should stay capped. 67.75, and we were bearish because we came out of this triangle. It's just taking a little bit of time to build. All right, here's your bias chart as of right now. We still have to do our Aussie dollar index, Peso, Swedish Krona, Norwegian Krona. We'll do those when I get back. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Thanks. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Man, look at this Canadian. It just does not want to stop. Man. Neither does the dollar. I mean, look at the euro just broke through 112. Cable starting to buckle. Kiwi Aussie coming under some pressure. It's kind of a runaway at this point. Hold on real quick. Oh, never mind. Yeah, dollar Canadian new highs. Wow, surging here, guys. Surging. Holy cow. Really, really big moves. Swissy new highs. All right. Man. Canadian just ripping here. Hold on really quick. what we have to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the Aussie. All right, so here's the Aussie dollar. All right, so the Aussie, I guess the most interesting thing about the Aussie is we we just are severing um, the 618 retracement. That it stopped us, I guess, for a few hours overnight, and you probably got a few traders that decided they wanted to try to pick the bottom here in the Aussie, but now we're starting to break lower. So the target for the head and shoulder pattern comes in at 71.12. So we're going to write that down as the next support because I really don't have much below there. I mean, hold on. I guess I could find something. Hold on. Just give me a second. Let's take this fib low to high. We have some support down here at 71.80. But are you willing to stand in front of this thing? You can see RSI hasn't even broken down yet. I mean, if RSI tries to get to oversold, we're probably going to head down here to 71.10. So I'm going to write that down. 71.10. All right. Any move up to 72.50 is going to find sellers. Any move at this point. Okay. Bearish. Dollar index. We are climbing up to this, well, we have our completion here. That would be the flag pattern completion comes in at 95.50. Then you have your channel top at 95.75. So I'm going to write down both of those. 95.50, 95.70. Okay, and that should be key up there. We're still in a range, believe it or not, in the dollar index, because if you look at the dollar, where it's very similar to the dollar yen. We're in this downward sloping range, and we're headed right towards the channel resistance. So we break out of here, and then it's going to start turning bullish for a while, until we get back up towards 100 on the dollar index or whatever. So you got to be careful just chasing the dollar up here. Support. Let's figure out where support is on the dollar. Well, I would think support on the dollar. Yeah, it's really close here. Maybe a move back down to 95, which will be right here. Let's just grab this line right there. So if we get a dip back down to 95, that should be good support for today. If we get a dip down there, that's a big if. I think that'd be a good place to be on the long side of the dollar index. Okay. And if we dip down there, then I'll probably start looking at to buy dollars against different currencies. All right, let's take a look at the peso. So the peso, I had been wanting to short the peso, the US dollar Mexican peso, for a long time as we got up here. But my fear, as most of you know this, my fear is the stock market is going to continue to go lower here over the course of the next couple of weeks, which in my opinion is going to put the dollar Canadian up here, or a dollar peso up here. We are facing really key resistance today. It may stall us for today. And you have 161% extension right there. So I'm going to write down 1852.50, but I don't know. You know, it may not even be a bad hedge against some of your dollar longs. You know, I shorted a little bit of dollar peso here, just very, very little, not much. I'm not going to risk too much here. I don't mind having it on as a hedge right now. Let's see, resistance is 1852.50. All right, that's key. Let's see where support is. I just sold some, by the way. I sold the peso at 1849.32. Like I said, I don't mind having a little bit of a hedge. But because see, there's this fib confluence here, big time. I need to put my stops in above this. Hold on, 1855, I think. Because if we go through 1855, I need to cover that. Okay. All right. Feel a little crazy doing this right now, but hey, gotta live life on the wild side, right? Yeah, so we got this. Ricardo said, "I'm very happy you short the peso because I shorted it just moments ago at 1851." You know, yeah, I mean, looking at it, I was obviously looking at some other stuff, but looking at it, I mean, we got a big fib confluence here. You know, I don't mind taking a little bit of a shot at it. Like I said, just as a hedge, support. Let's figure out where support is. Support. 1837. Right there. Okay, that's support. 1837. Okay. It is bullish. I just took a counter trend trade, short in the peso. I feel a little crazy. All right. Wait, we have, hold on. Out of Mexico today, we do have monetary policy meeting minutes. That's at 7 a.m. Eastern, or 7 a.m. my time, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern, just so you know. All right, here's the Norwegian Krona. I got out of my US dollar Norwegian Krona yesterday. I got out of it like right here, 832, like right about here. I took some profits. I took all my profits actually. Well, that was a good trade. I have to. I admit that was a really, really good trade. Now we are at resistance here. So that resistance comes in at 830. Let's just call it 830. Well, it's right here. I mean, I don't. I guess I shouldn't write that down. I need to write this down. We got to make the assumption we keep going up here, especially with crude oil so weak. So 842 dips to 825. I will look to get long on a dip to 825. 842, 825. So US dollar, Norwegian Krona support is at 825, 825. This is key support, resistance at 842. Okay? It is bullish. I do want to buy dips. I want to buy dips like that if we can get it. US dollar, Swedish Krona. You know what I'm going to do also right now? Sorry guys. I just sold another piece of my dollar Canadian just now. I have 2/3 of my Canadian left, just so you all know. All right, so now we have the US dollar Swedish krona, right? Um, the US dollar Swedish krona, this thing, I mean, look, we just we hit the 618 and then we stopped and then we're just continuing on. I mean, how massive of a move has this been? Talk about a V-shaped recovery here. I mean, we had that one pegged, and I've been in and out of it several times over the last couple of weeks. I didn't expect us to get up here so quickly. I mean, we have just, just gone bonkers. Um, Trying to figure out where we're going to stop, though. That's the question. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. All right. So from this last leg lower here, 127% extension comes in at 843. Okay. Buyer should be here at 831. Okay, let's write that down. USD, Swedish krona, 8. What was it? 831, 831, and then 843. Is that what it is? 843. Yeah, 843. 8.4300. It is also bullish. Okay, your bias chart done. Finito. Let me see if I can take some of your questions really quick. Oh man, I sold some of my dollar Canadian and now I'm going to regret that I did that. It's all right. Nothing wrong with taking profits, right? Joe said, I thought you were